Wondering how to manage all your social media content, both for you and your clients, in one single place? I've got you covered. Hey everyone, my name is Sylvia and welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, I'm a social media manager and marketing coach from Portugal, and I love talking all about working as a VA and social media manager, marketing yourself on Instagram and Upwork, and much more. So if those are topics that interest you, don't forget to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on my next video. Today's video is in a little bit of a different format. As you can see, I'm recording this with my laptop, and that's because I want to show you hands-on one of my favorite tools that I use on the daily to manage my social media content, both for me and for my client, and that is Trello. And I decided I wanted to share that with you guys in case you also want to work as a social media manager and are wondering how to manage all the content that you need to produce for your client and for yourself as well. Without further ado, because I don't want to spend all my time on this little introduction, let's get on to the actual video where I show you guys how I actually organize my Trello boards for my social media management clients. Alright, so as you can see, this is the template board that I created for this video and for me to replicate with any future clients. And basically, if you've never logged into Trello, it's for the most part set up in different lists. Now the lists are these vertical kind of columns that you see here, and you can easily add another list and add as many as you'd like. So yeah, to each of these lists you can basically add as many cards as you'd like, and these cards can be different content ideas, different projects that you have to do. If you're using this for VA clients, it's also a possibility, and you can have the different tasks that you have to do as individual cards. On the first list, I like to have a general list, and this is something that doesn't often change and it stays here. The other ones can be moved around, as we'll see down the line, but I like to start with an updates card. Now this is a card, and I have a short description here where I can easily communicate between myself and the clients and any other team members with content ideas, brand updates. If the client has created a new email list, they can let you know over here, or if you need their feedback on something, you can tag them here as well. And usually what I like to do is, once I create this card and I invite my clients to the board, I like to add them as members to the board, because not always the client remembers to tag you on the comments. So if both of you are members of the board, hopefully you'll get the notifications either way when someone comments or attaches something to the card or anything like that. Something else I like to leave on this card is my call booking link for my clients to book any calls that they need for any major updates that aren't so text-based or text-focused. Usually what we use this for is for the overall monthly review after I send them my monthly report. Usually they book their call over here to catch up with me and to brainstorm any ideas for the upcoming month. That's basically the updates card. Then after that, I like to have a card with videos. Now I love, if you know me, you know, I love recording little video trainings, kind of like this one. And usually I record them with Loom if it's a shorter video, and I just link the video here so the client can see it. Whether it's a new tool that I'm trying out or whether it's a small update that I'd like to give them, but that it wouldn't do so well on text, but also it's no need for a full-on call. If it's anything like that, I usually just send them a little video. It's a bit more personalized than just sending them a little text. So this is where the training videos go. Links, it's pretty self-explanatory. Here is where I keep their website link, their Instagram link, any other social medias. This is like a catch-all for their links, basically. Next is the brand info. Now here's where we put any general information about the brand. The client can fill this out and I can fill this out as well, so we both can edit the description at any time and add anything in general about the brand. I usually, when I onboard a new social media client, I send them a form in the Dubsado so they can put more information about the brand. I usually just copy and paste that for here, and then we can add things on as necessary over our time together. This should go to the end. Then competitors, it's something that I also ask in that onboarding form. Here's where we have the link for any competitors, and then I can go ahead when I do my competitor research. I can add any important things about the competitors, such as, for example, how many times a week they post, how many engagements they usually get in their posts, and so on and so forth. So we can have a benchmark almost to look out for. So here with target audience, it's mostly the demographics and the buyer's journey, any information that pertains to who we're targeting so we know them a little bit better. That usually helps when creating social media content. I sometimes go back to this and review and kind of get into the mindset of our target audience. The strategy is something that I, of course, will fill afterwards, after we have all the other information and after we actually start working together. Now, these other things, it's something that, as I said, I kind of copy and paste from what the client tells me. Now, the strategy, I then go ahead and evaluate their brand information, their competitors, their target audience, and so on. And I create a custom strategy for that client, and that's what usually goes here in the description slot. Things to test is something that I like to add every month after I send them the end of the month report, which is something I like to send to every client so we can see how different posts are doing, what we should do more of, what we should do less of. And so here, for example, if a client wants to test more video content or more reels, or they want to test different sets of hashtags, we'll put that over here. So like reel, video content, different hashtags, and so on. And then we can sort of tick them off as we go, as we test out. And lastly, the hashtag bank is something that I, once again, do my research once we start working together with a new client. And usually the hashtag bank will be in its own spreadsheet that I'll then attach to this card. So you can use the attachment feature and paste here the link for the spreadsheet and then give them a name if you'd like. So yeah, it'll show up below the description. Over our time together, we see that a specific post is doing really well on reach due to hashtags. What I like to do is I like to copy and paste that hashtag group into the description here so we can reuse it over time. Now, little side note over here, I don't like to reuse that hashtag group very often because that can be seen as spam by Instagram, but it's something that we can use to save a little bit of time, like once or twice a week, so we know that works and we can reuse what works. Now, as for the second list, this is where all the content goes as it's created, as I'm thinking of new ideas. So I have here a little template. Now, it doesn't have much, but some clients, for example, want to have the same CTA at the end of every post with their information. Some clients like a specific setup on, or a specific template for their posts. So that's what usually goes here if the client has their specific needs. And usually I'm the first one tagged as a member on every post because I'm the one who's creating them. Something else I like to add to each post is a label. Now we can put the label for a podcast, Pinterest, YouTube, depending on where that piece of content is going to. So I have different colored labels because I like everything to be color coded. And one last thing I'd like to note about the content part. Now we'll have to create a card from this template to show you. So for example, this will be a New Year's post because that's coming up soon. So I'll keep the members and I'll put the list in the content list. I'll put the card in the content list. So we'll create that card. you see it showing up right here. So it automatically opens, but I just closed it. But once you have the card, you can assign it a due date. And what I usually do with the due dates is I put the exact date and time where the post will go out. So for example, this one would probably go out on Friday the 1st at 12 p.m. And now what's good about this, let's say this is an Instagram and Facebook post. Now usually we do little tweaks when it's from Instagram to Facebook, such as the link and everything like that. But just for the sake of this video, I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite features about Trello. Now if you're using Trello for social media management, please don't skip on this add-on. But basically, if you click right here on the calendar or right here on the switch between the board and the calendar view, you'll be able to see the different posts on the different days. So you can see this is the only one we have right now, but it's the New Year's post. Now, if I go ahead and add, say, let's put a Christmas post, because it's still before Christmas, and I think when this video goes up, it'll still be before Christmas. I'm sorry if you're watching this afterwards, but Christmas, you can see I'm in the Christmas spirit. But let's create this new card, and let's say, for example, this Christmas post, we don't want to spread the Christmas here onto Instagram and Facebook as well. We want it to go on YouTube and Pinterest. Now, usually for YouTube, like I said before, I would create its own separate card, but once again, for the sake of this video, I'm going to say it's the same card, and I'm going to have it go up on December 25th. Now, if you go back to the calendar view, you'll be able to see that it shows up right here. And if you click on these labels, you can see what they mean, or you can toggle them off once again. Now we go back to the list view, and you can actually sort these by due date. So the first ones to go out come first. So you can work on the ones that have higher priority first. And then what I like to do is, let's say I wrote this all post, like I wrote it all, blah, 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 and I save it and I put it on ready to schedule. Now I currently have a team member just to schedule the posts, and this is the point where I would go ahead and add them to the card, but I don't have anyone on this card, so I would probably have to schedule them myself. So I would add them to the ready to schedule once they're created, and I can even show you if I have an image I can attach. So you can see it shows up right here at the top, and it shows up right here. So if someone were to go ahead and schedule this post out, they could just click on it, save the image, and upload to the scheduling tool. So it's very easy. You can have everything in one place. You can even add your hashtags over here, and you can see like it populates right here. And let's say I go ahead and schedule this post, I can put them in the done list, and that's where it's all done. If you need, for example, the client to review your content, that would be another list that you can add on. So to review, instead of going to the ready to schedule, you would create the content, you would push it to the review list. You can add, once again, the client. You can even use this shortcut. You can just click on that little pencil icon, and you can change the members. You can add your client right here, and once they approve it, they can move it to ready to schedule, and you can schedule them and add them to the done pile. Once again, as a final overview, basically the general list never changes or barely ever changes. So it's something to look back to when creating content or when doing anything important for the brand. The content is where you put any content ideas or any content as it's being created. Then you put it in the review if you need the client to review it. Then the client moves it to ready to schedule, and you move it to done after it's ready to go up. So that's basically it. Without wanting to get into much more detail, I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something from it, and that you actually go ahead, if you're just a watcher of my YouTube channel, that you actually go ahead and implement this onto your own business. I would love to hear your feedback, any questions that you have, or any content requests down below in the comments, or you can shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'll have that link down below and on the screen fun as well. That being said, I'm actually thinking of recording a full-on Skillshare class about Trello. So if that's something you'd like to see, leave me a comment down below so I can respond to you and let you know once that class is out. As always, don't forget to leave me a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe down below so you don't miss out on my next one. If you're a new client or a new hire, also, you can subscribe down below if you'd like to see my future videos. If not, that's totally fine as well. No harsh feelings over here. And I guess I'll talk to you next week. Bye!